Hello and welcome. My name's Carly, and this video is for those of you who just bought the Jeep Hardtop lifting kit. It's imperative that you follow these instructions carefully. Using this kit for anything other than a Jeep Hardtop can be dangerous. Any faulty installation could make your lifting area unsafe and void the warranty. It's vital that you make sure your hardtop isn't too large for the space you'll be installing your kit. We recommend you watch this video through before attempting installation. Damages to property or your product could occur if installation is done incorrectly. Before you begin, check the parts identifier in the user manual and make sure no pieces are missing. If you are missing any pieces, do not attempt installation and contact GarageSmart for replacements. The tools you will need for installation include a ladder, a stud finder, a pencil, a drill, a measuring tape, a 13mm wrench or socket wrench, and the drill bit that was included in your kit. The first thing you'll need to do is assemble the hardtop lifting frame. First, you will put together the two identical length adjuster assemblies using parts A and B. Insert part A into B with the rectangular slots at opposite ends. For a 4-door JL model hardtop, extend the length of the assembly so that 7 holes are exposed from part B. For a 2-door JL model hardtop, it will need to extend 13 holes. For a 4-door JK model hardtop, extend the length of the adjuster assembly so that 5 holes are exposed from part B. For a 2-door JK model hardtop, it will extend 14 holes. Insert 2 10mm quick release pins at the first and last overlapping holes. Where part A extends out of part B will become the rear of the lifting frame. Repeat these steps to make the second length adjuster assembly. Next, insert one part C through the rectangular slots at the front and rear of each length adjuster assembly with the open end facing up. Align each hole in part C with the center of each length adjuster assembly. On the rear of the assembly, slide part D into part C. For the JL or JK model, align the first hole of part D with the hole in part C. Place the 1/4-inch quick release pin through the aligned holes. Repeat these steps on the opposite side of the lifting frame to complete the rear support adjuster. On the front of the assembly, slide part E into part C. For the JL or JK model, align the first hole of part E with a hole in part C. Place the 1/4-inch quick release pin through the aligned holes. Repeat these steps on the opposite side to complete the front support adjuster. Next, slide a foam block over both the front and rear support adjusters and position them against part C. Then, slide the 2 remaining foam blocks just past the hooked edges of the front support adjuster. To complete the hardtop frame assembly, your pulley frames come next. Keep in mind that the pulley frame placement will vary based on your hardtop length and what you place in the cargo net. If you're lifting a 4-door JL hardtop, the back of your pulley frame should be positioned 15 holes from the rear support adjuster. If you're lifting a 2-door JL hardtop, your pulley frames should be positioned 8 holes from the rear support adjuster. If you're lifting a 4-door JK hardtop, your pulley frame should be positioned 12 holes from the rear support adjuster. If you're lifting a 2-door JK hardtop, your pulley frame should be positioned 8 holes from the rear support adjuster. After placing your pulley frames in the correct position for your hardtop, secure them with 4 10mm quick release pins on the first and last overlapping holes. You have now finished assembling your hardtop lifting frame. It's time to switch gears and figure out where to mount your SmartTrack and MyLifters. To determine the area where you will install the SmartTrack on the ceiling, lay the fully assembled lifting frame on the floor where you would like to lift your hardtop. You need to determine the proper distances of your hardtop to your back and side wall for optimal hardtop placement. Start by measuring from the rear of the pulley frame closest to both the back and side wall. We recommend the distance to the back wall be at least 5 feet so you can open your tailgate for hardtop removal. We recommend the distance to the nearest side wall be at least 4 feet so you can open your doors. Next, make the same measurements on the ceiling and mark where the rear of the pulley frame closest to the back and side wall will be when lifted. With your garage door raised, measure from this mark to your garage door. We recommend this measurement be at least 5 feet so your garage door and hardtop don't touch when raised. From your mark on the ceiling, make 3 more marks that create a perfect 15-inch square. Measure from each point to the nearest walls to make sure your square will sit straight. This square should mirror the distance from each pulley on the pulley frame and will be your guide when installing the SmartTrack. Now that you have a guide, it's time to install your SmartTrack. First, use your stud finder to locate the nearest studs. There are two different ways to orient your smart track for your hardtop kit. If your garage studs run parallel to the garage door, the smart track will need to be installed perpendicular to your garage door, with a MyLifter on each track. If your studs run perpendicular to your garage door, your smart track should run parallel to your garage door, with your two MyLifters on the same track. You'll need to find the two studs closest to your 4 marks on the ceiling, using a stud finder. Depending on your stud orientation, one stud may sit between your marks with the other on the outside, or the studs will just sit outside of both sets of marks. You will need to make 2 marks on the center of each stud, in line with your previous 4 marks, making a total of 8 marks. In order to find a stud center, locate the edges and mark the exact center. After that, double-check your marks on the ceiling with a smart track. It should cover 4 marks at a time, and the center stud mark should be visible through the track's middle holes. And double-check each set of marks are 15 inches apart. Next, choose a stud mark to drill into each track, and drill at least 3 inches into the stud. Then, hold your smart track in place over the hole, and screw the included lag screw and washer almost all the way. With the smart track as your guide, align your track with the opposing stud point. Then, drill 3 inches into this mark and install the remaining lag screw and washer. Now, repeat these steps for the second smart track and ensure that the center holes on each smart track are 15 inches apart on each end. Then, tighten each lag bolt securely and get ready to install your lifters and power adapters. For studs running parallel to your garage door, both lifters will need to face the same direction on their own smart track. Install each lifter on the smart track by aligning the cable with one of the pulley marks. You'll need to place the carabiner on the same side of the smart track as the cable guide opening, 15 inches from the lifting cable. The carabiner should be on the 5th hole from the lifter cable. For studs running perpendicular to your garage door, install both lifters on the same smart track with the cable facing the opposing smart track. Install each lifter on the smart track, aligning the cable with one of the pulley marks. The lifter should have 3 holes exposed between the 2 motors. You'll need to place the carabiner on the other smart track directly across from the lifter's cable. The carabiner should be placed on the far side of the smart track and have 4 exposed holes between them. Now, plug one end of the DC cables into the lifters and the other end into the power adapters, and place the power adapters anywhere on the smart track. Then, locate your nearest outlet. Plug the furthest power adapter's 3-prong cable into the power adapter that is closest to the outlet. Then, plug the closest 3-prong power adapter cable into the nearest outlet. If you have excess cable length, you can wrap them around the power adapter or nest the cable inside the smart track. Then, install the smart track covers for a clean finish. You'll need to create a locked group for your 2 lifters within the app. Unreel the cables using your smart device, thread them through each pulley frame, and connect them to your previously installed carabiners. Now, lift the frame into the air 6 inches from the ceiling and set your smart high point in the app. Next, back your Jeep into position under the elevated hardtop bracket. Make sure all electrical and physical connections between your hardtop and Jeep are disconnected, according to your manufacturer's instructions. Now, disconnect your freedom panels and store them in your storage bag included with your Jeep, according to the manufacturer's instructions. Lower the hardtop frame onto your hardtop with a little cable slack and set your smart low point. Double-check the rear support adjuster is lined with your rear window and the frame is centered on your hardtop. Next, orient your cargo net so the nylon strap webbing faces down, the short straps face the rear, and the long adjustable straps face the front. First, connect the rear straps to the rear support adjuster and thread the cargo net over the roll bar. Then, connect the front straps to the front support adjuster. Tighten each side of the cargo net and make sure each corner connection sits vertical. And if frame adjustments are needed to make your straps vertical, make those adjustments now. Now you can slowly lift your hardtop off your Jeep. Once your hardtop is separated, pull your Jeep out of the garage. You can now store your freedom panels in the cargo net and raise your hardtop to the smart high point. Give this video a thumbs up if it made installation easier, and leave a comment with your favorite thing about Garage Smart.